Have you noticed what's happening at Chelsea right now? A young Brazilian forward, Joao Pedro, is turning into something truly special. Some are already calling him a phenomenon, and honestly, it doesn't feel like an exaggeration. The tag that once surrounded his name is now becoming a reality, match after match. And the big question we're left asking is this. If he continues performing at this level, just how far can Joao Pedro go this season? And even bigger, could he force Carlo Ancelotti to make some incredibly tough decisions for Brazil's national team? Let's dive in. Joao Pedro's start in Chelsea Blue has been nothing short of electrifying. In the Premier League alone, he's already managed 2 goals and 2 assists in just 3 matches. But when you zoom out, the numbers look even more impressive. 5 appearances for Chelsea so far, 7 direct goal contributions. That's the kind of impact you expect from a superstar signing, not from a young player still adapting to life at Stamford Bridge. Every time he steps onto the pitch, Joao Pedro seems determined to prove that Chelsea did not make a mistake by bringing him in. Against their latest opponent, he found the back of the net again, making his presence felt in a 2-0 win. The other goal? Scored by none other than Enzo Fernandez, a player who himself deserves praise. But as much as we talk about Enzo, there's another name that simply cannot be ignored. Marc Casado. From the very beginning of the season, many analysts pointed out that Chelsea's depth in midfield would heavily rely on the chemistry between Fernández and Casado. And what we're seeing now is exactly that. An incredible balance of energy, control, and tactical awareness. Enzo dictates the tempo with his quick movements and vision, while Casado provides the stability, support, and defensive cover that makes Enzo's brilliance possible. Together, they're building the foundation of Chelsea's resurgence. Now, when you add Joao Pedro into that mix, Chelsea's attack starts to look very different. Suddenly, there's rhythm, fluidity, and a cutting edge. Pedro is not just a striker who waits for chances inside the box. He can score, he can create, he can drop deep when the team needs him to help and build up play, and he's even willing to track back and defend when the pressure is on. In fact, in their last match, we saw Pedro sprinting all the way back to defend a dangerous corner in the dying minutes. He put in a crucial tackle to prevent what could have been a game-changing goal. That's the kind of dedication that makes a player invaluable. He's not satisfied with just scoring goals. He wants to make sure his team wins, no matter what it takes. And this level of commitment doesn't just get fans excited, it puts managers in a real dilemma. Which brings us to Carlo Ancelotti. Imagine his situation right now. On one side, there's Richarlison. On the other, Joao Pedro. And then, when Gabriel Jesus eventually recovers from injury, he'll also be back in contention. Who do you choose as Brazil's number 9? Right now, form suggests there's only one answer: Joao Pedro. His performances are making it nearly impossible to ignore him. And with Ancelotti set to lead Brazil into the 2026 World Cup, this decision could define Brazil's attack for the next few years. But what makes Pedro so unique isn't just his stats. It's his hunger. Watching him play, you see a forward who looks like a lion let loose on the field. If he doesn't score, he looks for an assist. If he can't create, he makes sure to cause chaos for defenders. Time and again, opponents are forced to double mark him inside the box. Yet even then he keeps making runs, keeps pushing, keeps trying to break through. Did we see this version of Joao Pedro last season? Not really. There were flashes, moments of promise, but not the consistency, not the energy, and not this level of determination. Something has clearly clicked at Chelsea, and if he maintains this form until the end of the season, it's not hard to imagine him finishing among the Premier League's top 5 scorers. Would that surprise you? It might. But for me, it wouldn't. Because when a player has this level of hunger, this kind of mindset, stopping him becomes almost impossible. And here's another fascinating detail. Ahead of the Champions League draw, Pedro was asked which clubs he dreams of facing. His answer was bold. He said he wanted to go up against giants like Liverpool and Real Madrid to score against them and to help Chelsea win on the biggest stage. That tells you everything you need to know about his mentality. This is a young man who isn't afraid of the spotlight. He wants to test himself against the very best. And that ambition is exactly what could take him to the next level. Chelsea fans are already falling in love with him, and Brazilian fans are starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, they've found their next great striker. A player who doesn't just rely on talent, but combines it with raw desire, commitment, and a will to win. But Joao Pedro isn't the only Brazilian at Chelsea making waves. Keep an eye on Andrey Santos and Estevao as well. Both have shown glimpses of real potential. And if they continue developing, Chelsea could suddenly find themselves with a core of talented Brazilians shaping their future. So what does that leave us? Right now, Joao Pedro is one of the most exciting stories in English football. He's scoring, assisting, defending, and inspiring his teammates. He's proving doubters wrong and giving Chelsea fans hope again. And on top of that, he's forcing Carlo Ancelotti to rethink his Brazil lineup. The only question that remains is, can he keep this up for the entire season? If he does, then we're not just talking about a breakout year. We might be witnessing the rise of one of football's next big stars. What do you think? Can Joao Pedro finish as one of the Premier League's top scorers this season? And if you were Ancelotti, would you start him as Brazil's number 9 over Richarlison and Gabriel Jesus? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more football updates.